Howdy, everybody. It's your pal Misty. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. It is Thursday night, and it's time for our Thursday night chat. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Mary, for listening while you work on your noon deadline. You're a little past due. Hey, Lori, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hey, Tasharia. Good luck this weekend, Tasharia. For those of you who don't know or follow Tasharia over at Wellness with Frugal Mama, she is doing a 100-mile bike ride for MS this weekend. So kudos to you and your family for doing that, for helping people fight off that nasty disease. I have a few family members with like in-laws who have that. So yeah, kudos to you for doing that. They're actually going to be going to Glenrose to stay overnight, which for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that's where my family goes every year for our family reunion is to Glenrose. It's beautiful in the hill country there, so it should be a lovely ride. So if you have not, go show her some support over there for her ride this weekend. So great job, Sherry. That can be your non-scale victory for May because we know you're going to do it. But yeah, thank you for being here. It's been quite the day. We had some major storms come through this morning. Like they caused my anxiety to go up a little bit. Normally, I'm good with storms; they don't bother me too bad. But it was loud. It was bright. It shook the whole apartment. Like whew. I had to close the blinds because it was dark. Like 8:30 in the morning. It was dark like it was 5:30 when I woke up. It might have been darker than it was when I woke up at 5:30. It was dark outside. And it was the weirdest thing because it was like you're under a thunderstorm warning or a flash flood warning or all the different warnings that we had. We were even getting emergency alerts on our cell phones at some point, but it started out at like 9 o'clock and then 10 o'clock. And then now it's like till 5, which is now because it was weird is like the storm kept moving to the east, but it just kept growing on top of us and was just so it ended up from us all the way out to like Missouri or something crazy like that. And it was still raining on it. It was weird and it was loud and scary. So I ended up at one point, there's a window right there, and that's where my work computer is. And it sounded like it was hailing. I'm pretty sure it hailed, which that's a bad storm if it's hailing. I didn't hear of any tornadoes, though, which always makes me happy. But I picked up my laptop, I unplugged it from the power, and I took it into the kitchen. I'm like, I don't want this plugged into the power, and I don't want to be sitting next to that window. Anyway, so luckily the power held, and we're able to do a live stream tonight. So, hey, Gina, thanks for showing up. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, get that 100 miles. Yep, 100 miles, Lori. It's a long way. But I'm proud of you for doing it. That's a lot. She's learned a lot about biking in the last couple of months. Maybe next time we'll use, what are they called? Clips? I don't know. Well, however you like stick your foot inside. I'm with you on that one, girl. I don't know. You mean I can't put my foot down if I fall? That does not sound like a good plan. But I mean, I get that it probably makes it easier on longer distances, but I just haven't even ridden a bike in forever. I actually just did a stationary bike exercise last week, in fact, on Friday because coach was out and I forgot. So I didn't ask Amy if she wanted to walk. So I just went into the gym. I was going to do weights. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't done a stationary in forever. So I did a 30-minute bike ride and it went really well. Actually, I enjoyed it. But I haven't ridden an actual bike. I still have my bike too. I mean, I couldn't ride it right now. The tires are as flat as they could be, but I don't even know how long it's been since I've actually even ridden that bike. I've had that bike for almost 20 years now, I think. I think it was like 2004, 2003 maybe. It was when I moved to Houston. So yeah, like 2003, 2004. So it's been like 20 years that I've had that bike. I probably haven't ridden it in a dozen of those years. A lady said her husband broke his elbow with those, fell and boom. Yeah, that'd be my fear, is that I would hurt myself more because I couldn't brace myself for a fall. Ugh. Gina says it held over there about an hour ago. You were yelling to get your dog in the house. Coco just looked at you like you were nuts. Neither of mine would go out. And I really wish they spoke better English because their English skills are lacking. Because all morning they kept looking at me like, we need to go outside. I'm like, I know you need to go outside, but you don't want to. We've tried this already. We just tried 10 minutes ago, and they're still just staring at me like, we're about to pee in this house if you don't let us go outside. I'm like, I've been letting you out. So I just left the door like a while it was raining because it wasn't getting into the apartment. Ruby wouldn't even leave the door frame. Like, she wouldn't even step out onto the concrete. Barnum would at least go to the concrete. So then I have like a little piece of fake grass for Ruby to use. I've tried to pull it up onto the concrete so they wouldn't be raining on it. Ruby still wouldn't go out the front door, and Barnum refuses to step on that fake grass. Like, he's like, why is this even in our yard? He hates it. But we didn't have any accidents, which is really impressive. So I don't know how they did that. Luckily, I was able to take them out this morning before it all started. So I guess that was our blessing in disguise, was that we got some time. Hey, Tia, thanks for stopping by, Tia. I know you're super busy. I appreciate you being here for however long. But yeah, I think it hailed here too, Gina. I didn't go outside to try to take pictures or anything. I moved my computer because it sounded scary. So that's it. Let's see. What have I done this last week? I have had a flare, which I wasn't really talking about because at first I didn't really know that's what was happening. But last week, maybe I mentioned it last week. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I had a really bad day. I did not feel good. I took like 3 naps that day just to even make it through the day. Like, I didn't know what was wrong. And then on Saturday, Friday night or Saturday, I think it was, I had a flare on near my belly button. And then I was like, oh, yeah, that's what it is. They just make me not feel very good and they hurt. But it's a pain and a sickness kind of feeling that I understand. So once I knew that's what it was, I kind of felt better and could work through it and have worked through it this week. Good news is good news, bad news is it did not rupture. It goes quicker and I don't feel as bad if it opens up and I can get some of that. I say it's infection. It's not really. It's my autoimmune disease believes that something is attacking my body, and so it tries to kill it. Nothing's trying to attack my body, so my body's basically just it's attacking itself. It's stupid. It's fun. It's real smart in a lot of ways and real dumb in others, but the good news is it looks like it's going to heal naturally, which means my body is doing what it is supposed to do to fight off the infection. Bad news is I'm still getting the flares. I was kind of hoping with the drop of estrogen to a postmenopause level of 0 that I would stop getting those. But I think it was actually just the stress of the travel, not stress in a negative way, because as y'all know, I've talked about for the last 2 weeks and we'll probably mention several times this evening in Non-Scale Victories. I had a great trip. It was fabulous, but travel is, exertion on the body. And I did a lot. I was, between 15 and 20,000 steps most days, doing 4 workouts one day. So it was just a lot on my body. And I think that stress is still a trigger. Even though it was a good experience, it was still hard on my body. And so my body just needed a way to kind of release that, I guess. I don't really know, but it's fine. I'm feeling much better. I haven't had to take a nap in the last couple of days. And like I said, it healed on its own instead of having to just continuously get so big until it opens, which means my body is fighting it off. So I am actually happy about that, even though it makes me feel a little bit sick a little bit longer. So Tia says she's making dinner. You should be here till the end. This time works perfect. You just forget. Well, I'm glad to have you back. It's good to see you online a couple times too, Tia. So this month, or for April, I had a lot of non-scale victories, but that's what we're going to talk about because it is the first Thursday of the month. It's only the second of the month, but it is the first Thursday of the month. Kenneth, did I tell you good evening? I clicked on your stuff, and then I'm not sure if I actually said that out loud or just in my brain, but hello, Kenneth, in case I forgot. If told you twice, you're extra welcome here. You're always welcome here. I don't know. I get into talking and then forget if I tell everybody hi or not. So if I forget to tell you hi, just remind me that I forgot. And I'll be happy to give you a little shout out. I kept a smile on my face during those workouts. Yeah, that's because coach kept saying, "Don't forget to smile," because I don't, I don't normally smile during a workout, and it's not because I'm not happy or not excited. It's because I'm working. When I work out, I work out, and so she told me smile during the workout. I was like, "Oh yeah, right. I'll try. I'll do my best." I was trying to stay balanced, and she's having me do them knee up extensions and. It was a non-scale victory though, because I totally crushed it. So, for those of you who are new here, we like to on the first, well now Thursday, I almost said Monday. I really miss my Monday night live streams, but on the first Thursday of the month, we like to talk about non-scale victories for the previous month. A non-scale victory is a way that you were successful that has nothing to do with how much the scale says you weigh today. Oh, and also before I forget, my mama's not here. She's fine. They have a sister city, I think is what I have never heard of this before, but evidently in Louisiana, most, if not all of the cities have a sister city like in another country. So Kaplan's sister city is somewhere in Belgium. So those people have actually come. So they're doing a party and stuff like that for them. So my mama will not be here. But she's been doing really well. She's actually got a good deal on a stationary bike, which was part of the reason why I've been thinking about bikes too, because of that, because Tasharia, Dawn in the Fit Squad, she'd been doing bikes for like a month. So Mary Fran always talks about her bike. So with all of them people talking about bikes, I decided to do a little stationary one, but it was cool. So anyway, so she's not going to be here. Don't worry about my mama. She still loves me. I'm not in no trouble, and she'll be watching the replay. Kenneth, that's how Cheryl is. I hope she'd be able to join, but I don't know, Kenneth. She's doing okay. Her and Rick they were out and about a little bit yesterday, so he's feeling much better. He was still struggling with some health issues, as y'all know from her updates, but she's doing okay, Kenneth. I'll definitely tell her that you asked about her if she doesn't make it to the live stream tonight. So non-scale victories. Well, I remember when I first started, and I know I've said this before, people would do non-scale victories, and I was like, that's silly. I don't have any of those. I'm doing it to lose weight. That's what I started it for, was to lose weight. And then I started doing it for all of the right reasons, which were not anything to do with how much I weighed per the scale. And then the scale actually really started to move. Not recently though. We'll talk about that maybe in a little bit as well, or maybe in another live stream. So for April, what I would like for those of you who are here in the chat, some of them I think I know because y'all are in my Discord and we've talked about it a little bit, but I would like to know, even if you're not on a weight loss journey, it doesn't mean that you can't have something that you were victorious with in the month of April. It could be whatever you're working on, personal goals, career goals, weight loss, mental health, whatever it is. What did you do in the month of April that you felt was a victory to live your happiest, healthiest version of your life that has nothing to do with how much you weigh? I'd love for you to share in the chat so that we can share and talk about it. And sometimes when people see or hear other people's non-scale victories, it lets them know that, oh yeah, like I have that victory too. I remember I had that one a couple of weeks ago when somebody was talking about armpits and how you actually have an area there. And I was like, hey, I have one of those. What are we talking about now? I have armpits. That's right. They are supposed to not just be solid and full. So it's just little things like that sometimes that will make you realize that you have been victorious in ways that you might not have considered otherwise. So, well, that's good. Mary's non-scale victory is she hasn't killed anybody at work yet. And hopefully everybody will get paid if you continue to keep that up, because I mean, I love my company, but I have always said the one thing that would make me quit is if they stop paying me. So hopefully they don't do that. So non-scale victories. I had a bunch in April because I did a whole bunch in April that I've talked about over the last 2 weeks. So we'll talk about some of mine and then we'll continue to talk about y'all's as you share. Lori says she increased her plank time from 40 seconds to 1 minute 15 seconds. That's great. A low plank or a high plank? I'm just curious. Either way, still very impressive. You increased your wall sit time from 50 seconds to 1 minute and 5 seconds. And you can now run up and down the street with only one short break. That's awesome. I know you've been working on your running, so that's really good. Wall sits are hard. I remember doing a wall sit challenge with Coach, and we got up to 6 minutes. Whoa. It was a long time. It was really challenging too. And that's one thing that is good with planks and wall sits, anything that's isometric. Isometric is a fancy word for hold or don't move. But you would be amazed at how strong and fit you can get not moving, as long as you have like some type of body weight or dumbbell or band or whatever you're using. So those are all great. And I'm sure the wall sits are helping with your legs and the planks are helping with your core. And both of those things are really important to running. Oh boy, Alexa got another update. I bet our flash flood is lasting an hour longer or something. Those are great non-scale victories, and they all kind of link together too. So that's even a bonus win when one thing you're doing helps improve other things as well. Uh, People talk about habit stacking. You can have non-scale victory stacking as well. A low plank, nice. Because I say that because a high plank is still hard. Do not get me wrong, but them low planks, I remember when I started trying low planks, I was still so big that my stomach touched the floor when I was in the low plank. And it still would if I just let my skin hang, but I do wear compression underwear and stuff when I work out so that my skin doesn't just hang and throw me off balance. But yeah, low plank, that's really good. Who else? Anybody else have non-scale victories for the month of April that you would like to share? Feel free to share in the comments if you're here watching on the replay. I had a lot of non-scale victories in April. April overall was a really good month for me. I had lots of doctor's appointments and follow-ups and scopes and CT scans and new medicines. And so health-wise, I'm still doing all of the things to try and get my health back in order. Especially since we've learned about the change in the hormone levels, doing research and things on that, on ways to just feel better and to, with it being a little bit early at only 48 for postmenopause, I have to consider things like osteoporosis and, bone strength, density, all those kind of fun things. So, I don't like the doctors. I still don't like them. I certainly don't like that I have so many specialists, but I suppose the good news is at least I have all these specialists so that I'm getting cleared from most things. I am a little bit congested today, but with all this rain, I don't even feel bad about that. I don't dismiss my body for it. Also, I've been dealing with this flare, which always sort of makes my body feel like it's sick and gains weight. I'm back up into the 180s, around 185. So I've gained about 5 pounds again from what I had lost. But overall, for me, anytime that I do things to take care of my physical health, as far as going to the doctors, I consider that a win because I spent most of my life. Really, the only time I went to the doctor was when I went to the urgent clinic to have flares like opened up with, they consider it a small procedure. So you have to go to urgent care because they can't do it at a doctor's office. Outside of that, I never went to the doctor. Unless, if I did, I probably had pneumonia. I've had pneumonia like 5 or 6 times. And mostly that's because I just didn't take care of myself. And even when I did get sick, I didn't go to the doctor. So for me, going to the doctor, getting all of my checkups, still got to figure out how to get a colonoscopy. I mean, I know how to get it. I have the medicine already. It's good for a year. It's just I have to have someone take me there and bring me back. So I have to find someone else whose schedule I have to interrupt in order to be able to do that, which I understand because I'll be put to sleep. And so they don't even let you Uber. Won't let you get in the car with someone you don't know, which is a safety thing. I get that. But it's also highly inconvenient. However, that's mainly just because of age and because they've changed it from 50 to 45 now to get a colonoscopy. Fun for those of you who are who were free of that before. Um, but yeah, I hate doing all that stuff. So the fact that I did it for me, some of it was in the previous months too, but I've pretty much got all of the main appointments that I wanted to get done outside of this routine colonoscopy, which I don't anticipate having any issues with, but you never know, and that's why you do them. Gina, that's awesome. Gina says she didn't even notice she was getting out of her car struggle free. Sometimes when I sit in my car, I'm just still in shock of like, I remember just I love my car. I really do. It's a Honda Fit. It's a little tiny thing, and I got it when I was 330 plus pounds, and I fit, but I mean just barely because my stomach would touch the steering wheel. And now, like I mean, I could put my arm in front of me and still touch this. I have lost like it's crazy. So it's not something that I think about, but I'm sure at some point it was hard even getting in and out of the car. So that's a huge accomplishment to just be able to move better, right? One thing that I talk about, maybe not as much as I should, but it is really just functional fitness, because most of the reason that I do the things that I do as far as workouts is so that I can then enjoy the daily activities without those feeling as much of a struggle. Like this weekend, we went on our hike. It was a beautiful place actually. I really liked it. I don't know where we were, but I don't know what it's called. Mary probably knows, but she's working. It was really nice. I liked it a lot. We were on some bike trails for part of it, but then there was also open areas. But I mean, did we get lost a little bit? Maybe. It was not my fault because, just for the record, I never know where we are. That's just I take people with me so that when I go places, I just turn my brain off and I just chat. I just follow my GPS to wherever they send a pin. So evidently it looked like there were some places that we could pass that we could not pass. So our little 2-3 mile hike ended up being a 5 mile hike, but we were all perfectly okay with that. I was telling them about my whole trip anyway, which Mary had heard a lot from the live stream and she was there for part of it, but and I'd be like, okay, and now we're on Thursday. And I would just keep telling the story as we were going. Oh, Armand Bayou Hike and Bike Trail. It was nice. It was one of my favorite places that we've hiked in a minute. Like I like it pretty much as I like the one that's close to us that we enjoy so much. I really enjoyed that one. We may have to do that one again at some point. But it was really nice. It was pretty. You were in the middle of the woods, but again, not really. But my point being, we did 5 miles, which we had not planned on. We normally do about 3 miles just because that's normally what we do, right? We walk for about an hour and a half, depending. Um, so this time we ended up doing longer and we did the 5 miles, but I wasn't worried about it. I mean, I realized at some point we the way we thought we were going was not going to work and we were looking for a new place to go. I was aware of this because Natasha and Mary both had out their phones and they're kind of looking and Natasha's zooming in and checking out stuff. I'm like, oh, we're lost. It's fine. We'll find our way there. And I wasn't worried about it. So I do all of the workouts and I do all of the things that I do so that when I go out and we're accidentally on a 5 mile hike instead of a 3 mile hike, it's no big deal. We just keep walking until we're done. And so that functional fitness, being able to get in and out of your car easily, just being able to stand up is a victory. So for some people, but that's still a victory. Ken says he started a diet yesterday. This morning you did 15 minutes on the treadmill and you took a long walk in the park. That's great, Kenneth. Finding the foods that work best for your body is super important and also super tricky. I just have to be honest about it. Like, there's actually a pretty good documentary out that came on Netflix about gut health. And it basically says eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, right? Variety is the spice of life, whatever. I don't disagree with that. But they also made the point of three people could eat an apple and every person would have a different reaction to that apple, to where some people the apple isn't even good for them, right? So it can be tricky, but getting physical movement in will definitely help both mentally and physically. So going for walks, walking on a treadmill, that is absolutely great. 15 minutes is a good place to start. I always say, what healthy things can you add? So adding a walk, adding a treadmill workout are always great. Yes, mobility is key, Gina. You are correct. Kenneth says he weighs 163. You're too fat. Well, I don't know about that, Kenneth, because a lot of things go into that there and what fat means to you, right? So if you don't feel healthy in the body that you're in, then I would definitely say do the things that will make you feel healthier in the body that you're in. I know most people would still consider me fat. I'm still considered morbidly, or not morbidly obese, but I'm overweight now. I'm considered I'm still in the overweight category. And I probably will be for a long, long time. I'm okay with that because I'm living in my healthiest, happiest body. But yeah, absolutely. If it's something that you want to work on, Kenneth, I say go for it. Gina says she's heard it's good to get air. I have to get air because these dogs need to be walked, especially Ruby. Ruby loves a walk. Barnum could probably just use the front yard and be happy. He's kind of a lazy old man, but he doesn't dislike the walks. He's always excited to go. But I mean, Ruby gets pumped up for a walk. She gets extra walks because she's little and has a lot of energy still in comparison to him. Oh, Lori said she just watched it. Definitely changed the way you think about eating. Yeah, it's definitely interesting how different foods impact different people's body differently. But I did think that one thing that was interesting and something that I have talked about is it is a lot of hormone things and driven. And so one of the things that they tested was blood glucose because insulin and your blood glucose, and insulin is a fat storage hormone. So if you spike your insulin and cause your insulin to go up, your body gets the message, store this as fat, even if it doesn't need to, because of the food that you ate. And different people will get different spikes from different foods. So I'm not saying go buy a blood glucose meter. I'm certainly not doing that. I know there are people who do, and they test them, and they test different foods. And sometimes for health reasons, like diabetics, especially type 1 diabetics, they have to test multiple times a day. Some of them even have the continuous meters now. But I did find that very interesting because you always hear about calories in, calories out, and I haven't got on my soapbox about this in a while, but it's more than that. It's more than just calories in, calories out. There's a lot to it. It is important the type of calories that you eat, but again, that's different for everybody. And I'm not here to talk about it as an expert by any means because I'm one of the world's worst eaters. I don't eat well. I struggle with eating. I struggle with textures. I struggle with just the look of food. Sometimes I just would rather not eat. And that's the truth. And that's not something that a lot of people struggle with. So it's different for everybody, right? Hey, Tamika, thanks for showing up. I appreciate you being here. Oh, right. That is your non-scale victory. You lowered your A1C. She lowered her A1C so much she's not even pre-diabetic anymore. She's not anything in the diabetic range. That's amazing. And again, it goes to the food that you eat, the workouts that you do, all of those things can help, right? So, hey, Marcy, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. I saw your comment earlier on Coach's live stream. You're at the gym for 2 hours. Girl, get that workout in. That's a long time. I hope you were at least dancing in between sets for part of that, Marcy, because that's a long time to be working out. But yeah, Mary, that's amazing. I mean, there are people who that's the whole reason they start a weight loss or health journey is because they become pre-diabetic. You were in the diabetic range and have now dropped it all the way down into the low fives. And I'm sure it will just continue to go down from there. And I mean, even type 2 diabetics, they have a lot of health issues. I lost a real good friend that's he was my friend since kindergarten. I remember because my mama called him that little black boy. I was like, he has a name, Mama. His name's Edwin. And so then when we graduated high school, I brought him over. I was like, remember that little black boy? I was like, we're still best friends. She's like, I didn't care that y'all were friends. I just didn't know his name. I was like, I know. But, cultures and age sometimes are a little bit different. But he was diabetic. He was type 2 diabetic. He didn't eat well. He didn't work out. He always said that he would rather eat the food that he enjoys, and if it kills him, it does, and it did. And that's just the truth about it. I was losing appendages. He had like a few toes removed. He had all these different types of problems. And the doctors told him that he could fix it with food, and he just refused. And I don't fault him for that. That's, the life that he lived. I'm sure he enjoyed it. He was a pastor. So he had a great congregation behind him. He loved the Lord. And I have no doubt that he's with the Lord in heaven. But, what could have been different? And it's not something everybody's going to do. And no judgment for me on that. I'm just here to share my story and what works for me and the different victories that I've had, right? Hey, Will's here. Thanks for joining, Will. Will's out saving all the people who are getting lost, which would be me. And this time we did get a little bit lost, Will, but it was only 5 miles lost and we didn't have water, but we didn't need it. I almost needed an emergency restroom break, though. It was, I say that. We went to this park after we did our walk. After our 5 mile hike, there was a park that was at the start of the park, and so I was like, I want to walk after or work out or play after the walk, which was not really a workout, but Mary even did like a little zip line. She did a slide. I was so proud of her. We all did this little workout on this. Well, not workout. We played, but we couldn't do that if we weren't in a healthy enough space to do that. That's not why I started that story. And now I don't remember why I did. Anyway. Oh, Will out there saving the masses and we were lost with no water. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So I took video and it was funny because I was like, oh, I think I need to go to the bathroom. I ended up not needing to, and we made it to the park and I was able to use the restroom and then look down and I had sweat so much. It looked like I peed my pants anyway. I looked at Natasha. I was like, Natasha, I might as well have just peed my pants because that's what that's what it looks like. So hopefully the video will come out. Just if you think I peed my pants, I don't even care because I worked out. It was hot. I was sweaty. We walked 5 miles up and down a bunch of hills, and then I wanted to play, so I did. And I'm sure there have been kids that probably had peed their pants and was on all that equipment. It's fine. I still had a good time. Uh-oh. Carb loading party. Get it. Load up. What you gonna have? Pizza? That's probably what I would have. Pizza or pasta, probably. I don't know. It just sits so heavy on my stomach now these days. The last time I had pizza was, I think, when Ray's wife passed. And, boo, it was like a stone on my stomach. It wasn't even enjoyable of the feeling of it. Anyway, Gina says her bestie's diabetic and watches his diet so he can enjoy cocktails. Yeah, I mean, balance is also important, right? There are people who work out so that they can eat more. And for some people, that's a healthy way to do it. For others, that's not a healthy way to do it. You don't want to punish yourself with a workout. But for some people, that works. So if punishing yourself with a workout so that you can enjoy other things, as long as those things keep you happy and healthy, I mean, a cocktail every now and then, it's fine with me, right? It's daily carb loading over there, Gina. You found lots of people like that, Will. So back to my non-scale victories for April. My word of the year this year is stamina. I've been picking a word for the last few years, and both mental and physical stamina, right? The ability to do things, push beyond the limits that you think you have. Deanna always talks about not getting outside of your comfort zone, but expanding it. And I really like that thought process on it, because once you do it, it's now within your comfort zone, right? So it's not necessarily always having to step outside of it, but just can you expand that comfort a little bit more to do things that you might not have thought you could do before? And I did a whole bunch of them things in April. Oh, it's a brewery? I mean, beer has carbs. It's gross. I'm not a beer fan, but it does have carbs. Maybe nachos. It's not a lot of carbs probably in nachos, but I could pound some nachos. Nachos is one food. If it is a food that I like, I do understand binge eating. It's just that I don't like most foods enough to be able to binge eat them. They get gross after a little while. Um, nachos, I could probably nachos and fruit. We've talked about that before. Fruit is good for me in small amounts. I can't seem to eat it in small amounts. I will want the whole watermelon. And I know it's a problem, right? So in some regards, I do understand that. But yeah, so I've been working on my stamina and pushing the boundaries of my comfort zone. I realized last year my word was fear, for anyone who may be new. And what I realized about fear is, first I was torn about even having the word because it felt sort of like a negative word, but it actually really made me realize that for me, and this may not be true for everybody, of course, but for me, fear and excitement feel the same in my body. Like my body doesn't know the difference between fear and excitement. I mean, my heart races, I get real amped up, I start talking a lot because I talk when I'm nervous. Shocker. Um, it's only my brain that says you're feeling this way because you're scared. Well, what if I feel this way because I'm excited? Because it feels the same. And so then I realized that I could turn a lot of the fears that I had into excitement. And excitement is a more enjoyable feeling for me than fear. So my brain is always my biggest obstacle. So what steps can I take to kind of, best my brain? Be smarter than my brain, I guess. But one of the ways that I do that, or have started to do that, is to turn fear into excitement. Oh, Tasharia says she can feel Eugenia. Her nutrition is hit or miss. Hey, Jocelyn, you made it. Whoop, whoop. I've been missing you because I know you promised you would comment when you were here. I appreciate you making it to the live stream. Still working. You can listen away, hopefully. Tia says 100-calorie hard Mountain Dew might be a fun epic disaster demo for you. They have hard Mountain Dew? Really? I love Mountain Dew. I didn't know they had. It's a seltzer, I'm assuming, right? Some type of seltzer. Maybe we could do that. Have I done seltzer taste tests? I don't know if I have or not. I feel like maybe I have. I don't normally like them because I don't like seltzer water. So I don't like hard seltzers either because it's still seltzer water. I like the Mike's Hard Lemonade, like the low or zero sugar one that they have. I forget what they call it. That's pretty good. Most of the other ones are just gross. Tia's with me. She says, not weird. You like being scared. Roller coasters, horror movies. Yeah. And maybe that's a way to look at it too, is it may be scary, but I like that. Scary can be fun. And people do really enjoy being scared sometimes. I think you're right, especially when it comes to like horror movies or haunted houses or things like that. I will watch a horror movie. They're not scary. It's a movie. So most of the time I don't enjoy them because they're not very fun. But it just depends on the movie, right? And some of them I feel like I might not should laugh as much as I did. There's actually a show on Netflix. If you like sci-fi ghost hunter kind of thing. It's called the Dead Boy Detectives. Dead Boy Detectives on Netflix. That it was so funny. Now it was. I mean, I don't know that it was supposed to be as funny as I thought it was. It was like Beetlejuice to me. I laughed through that whole show. I watched it in like 2 days. It was great. But then I heard some people were like, they were scary parts. I was like, I must have missed all those because it was a movie, it was a show, right? So for me, that doesn't do it. But I do know a lot of people who really like that feeling of being scared. So I guess it does make sense to you. They have hard and spiked everything, even simply. You're probably not wrong about that. I'm just such a lightweight now. Like I mean, I don't want to gloat about how much I could drink, but I used to drink a lot with my family and stuff like that. And now I get like 3 seltzers in me and I'll be touching everybody. Mary can tell you. I'll be touching everybody. I'll be singing. Like I'm a lightweight. Hey, Michelle's here. Thanks for showing up, Michelle. I saw you had a video out. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet because I just got done with work not too long ago. But yeah, so in April, let's see, what all did I do in April? I traveled by myself for part of the travel, which for me is always a big thing, traveling by myself, because I like to travel with people who can take care of me. And that's the truth. And part of the scary part is having to fend for myself on my own, get the own rental, get my own hotel, make sure I don't lose my keys, make sure I don't lose my wallet. Well, hopefully make sure you don't leave the car running for half an hour. That could happen to anybody though, I think. Maybe not. But it happens to me. But I like to take people because that does make me feel more comfortable, because at least then I'll have another head to bounce ideas off of if something goes wrong, instead of just having to bounce ideas off myself. And I'm like the most Coach was talking in boot camp, I don't know, like a week or two ago, about like that sixth sense that people get, right? Like when you're walking and you see someone and you kind of look at them and, they may make you nervous for whatever reason, or, to keep your eye on them, or they may not be, a good person. I don't have that feature. I just walk around like everything's okay all the time because that's how I'm feeling. So I know I'm a target. And I'm not as scary looking now that I'm so much smaller. I think people avoided me a lot when I was bigger. Now, one thing I have noticed about losing a lot of weight and being a more typical or average size, I guess, is I get ignored. I love it, kind of, to be honest. People used to talk to me a lot more, but I think that was also because they saw me more often. I'd also get stared at a lot more, but I didn't care about that. But yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. So that's a different, you're just fit in with the crowd, I guess, but I'm loving that part of it. Tia says she doesn't drink it. She rings it up at Target. You've tried Mountain Dew, but don't want to influence. Well, I love Mountain Dew. I was so excited to find that Code Red. I don't love all of the Mountain Dews. Like Baja Blast is one of my least favorite Mountain Dews out there, but Code Red, Voltage, even the Mountain Dew Zero it's better than the regular diet Mountain Dew, which I find with a lot of the sodas that have a diet version and a zero version. I like the zero version better. But yeah, we may try it. I may start, in fact, Lori and I have talked about, I may do water enhancers because I need more water. And she's like, you should do new epic favorite disasters on those. I was like, that's a brilliant idea. So I'm stealing it. I'm giving you credit though, Lori, at least right now I am. So, I mean, I need to drink some fun stuff because what I probably need to do is go back to trying foods again, because I don't like to try food. I don't like to try new foods. That's not my jam. I'd probably hate a lot of them, but maybe at some point I will be able to branch out and do more new favorite or big disaster food content as well, because I'm glad y'all like them, because I do enjoy them, but it does make me I get like, well, you've seen the Get It Together, I get real anxious before, sometimes even right before I drink it. You can just maybe you can't feel it or see it, but when I watch my videos back, I'm like, ooh, your anxiety was really high on this one, Misty. But it's because trying new things makes me a little nervous, but do it anyway. Don't feel about it, just do it. And it may be an epic disaster like that cold brew. That's gross. Mary can confirm. It was disgusting. That monster cold brew was so gross. It was the nastiest thing. I didn't even take a second sip. But it was a fun experience to do it and to try it and to realize that it was utterly disgusting. Gina says she used to mix Mike's Hard Lemonade with something called Orange Hooch. I have no idea what that is. Gina loves water enhancers. Did I get them yet, Lori? I have to go check my mail. I know I told you that I would not forget to go check my mail. I forgot until I was just talking about it right now. When it just popped in my head, I was like, oh, I bet I may have them. So maybe we'll have some of those coming up. I got to get other videos out first. I've been catching up at work and then ending the month, and now the month has started, and it's been a little bit of a week. Gina says she accidentally bought energy water enhancer. You felt horrible. You're a caffeine-free lady. Yeah, there are some that have caffeine in it. Those might do me good too. Actually, maybe instead of drinking the energy drinks, I could drink at the end of the day, it's the same thing. I know people have problems with diet sodas, water enhancers, purists or whatever. That's not what you're going to find here. I'm going to do whatever I can to help. And I do drink regular water as well, but it's a struggle. I don't like it. I have to force myself to do it, and sometimes I can't. So, in fact, I made a water to bring, and I totally forgot it. Because it's just water, so I don't think about it. And we all have our things and we all work through them, right? You love raspberry lemonade Propel water mixes. I do have a Sonic cherry limeade that I have tried. That's probably, I don't know if I have any lemonades. The ocean water mix. Is the ocean water mix a Sonic mix? Because I love Sonic ocean water. I feel like I've had that too. I feel like my mom had that once. Tia says Alani new energy package cherry slushy is yummy if you double the water. Oh, it's better than their energy drink? Because, Tia, have you seen? I hate those. I do not like Alani. I have not found one yet that I enjoy. Holy moly, she made it. Cheryl, we love you. We missed you. Kenneth wants to know if you're good. I told him you and Rick have been doing okay. Yes, Sonic, they're at Dollar Tree. Oh, they're at Dollar Tree? They have water enhancers? Did I know that? I feel like I've gotten energy drinks from Dollar Tree, but I don't know that I've ever checked for water enhancers. I did used to love a Sonic ocean water, except for it turns things green, and don't panic. I would panic and be like, why is everything green? That blue food coloring is the truth. Like, it's for real. Oh, it's too sweet. I liked sweet. I don't like Alani. There's something in their flavor that's just, I've tried the Witch's Brew, I've tried the Cherry Slush, I've tried the Starlight something or other, I tried the Kim K one. Who knows? Maybe I'll try it, because if it's Epic Disaster, y'all like those too. Let's see. Oh, they do have the ocean water. Oh, at Dollar General. Why did I think she said Dollar Tree? Anyway, I have not looked for them there, but I did used to like the ocean water. And I think it was a cherry limeade that my mom had gotten that time that I tried that I enjoyed, because I like a Sonic cherry limeade. It's not as good as Brahms, but we don't have Brahms down here. They don't come down that far. All right, y'all are all saying hello to each other. Witch's Brew is your favorite? You were stuck on Ghost fave. I like a lot of the Ghost energy drink. Actually, they do a really good job of hitting the nail on the head with the flavor. Anyway, we're way off into not talking about non-scale victories. No shocker here. But let's talk about the things that I did do. So when I traveled by myself, I started that. I had a manicure for the very first time. I went to a cryo chamber for the very first time. I went to a salt room for the very first time. I had a massage for the very first time. I got to meet my coach in person for the very first time. I got to meet Lori and Camille for the very first time. Got to meet all the boot camp girls for the very first time. I've never traveled. I've always done round trip there and back. This time I went to a place, then to another place, and then back home. So it wasn't a round trip. It was 3 separate trips, in and out of the airports for all of those. It's a little iffy. I just feel like I'm always going to get stopped at security. I just build in time for it these days because I always do something wrong. Or like on the way back, I mean, obviously understood. I had food in my bag. I knew that they would need to wipe them. I had looked it up. So I did only take the food that had not been opened, even though you can carry food with you, but they have to swap everything. And I knew that would take a while. So I packed most of it in what I did end up having to buy another bag. I don't remember if I shared that or not, but I did end up having to buy another bag because everybody was so sweet and kind and bought me treats, and I couldn't get everything back home. Anyway. Notbot hated you for some reason there. Stop posting links. I don't know what link you tried to post, but yeah, you can't post a link because that's just how they do. You miss Bang Cherry Blade Lemonade? Oh, do they not make it anymore? That was my favorite. I haven't even tried to have it. If I make it to Nashville, let you know. Actually, we've been talking about going somewhere close to there for because we've been talking about going to like the Branson area, or even out near Dollywood for a Fit Squad retreat at some point. Will we go there? I don't know. But if I'm ever in the Nashville area, Michelle, I'll definitely let you know. So I did all of those things. The manicure went well. I still love having my nails painted. Look, I have gray and purple today. Can you see how pretty? Look how pretty. I still like doing the nails. It doesn't make me feel like I suffocate, and I like it. So I'm keeping it for now. We'll see. It may be a trend that I stop in another week or in another year. You never know. The cryo chamber in the salt room, 100% would do again. The massage, I enjoyed the massage that I got, but again, I think that was because of the person who did the massage and the type of massage that it was. Like, she prayed with me before, we talked during. So for me, it was more of a mind and spiritual fulfillment, and then my body felt relaxed the next day. So it was good though, right? But would I do it again with her? Yeah. With someone else, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't so overwhelming of an experience for me. Like, I would do the cryo chamber before I would do a massage, just because the cryo chamber instantly made my body feel better, made me feel refreshed. I had lots of energy, sort of like cold showers. So I don't do super cold showers because it's just tap water level, but I do take cold showers, or I end on cold and then dunk my head in the shower before I get out. Yeah, you're not posting links. I don't know why I did that to you, Michelle. I didn't even know Nightbot was still active, to be honest, because all the stuff I had done with Nightbot stopped working. So I thought I had done something wrong. Let you know too if you're going. Okay, Lori, I'll let you know if I'm going to Nashville too. Nashville's fun. All right, cool. I mean, I am a country girl. I like country music, so Nashville sounds like a good place. And if I could go to Dollywood, come on. I don't even care if she's there. I'm a huge Dolly Parton fan. I think a lot of y'all know that if you've been. I love Dolly Parton. I love her. Love, love, love. Love everything about that woman. I would love to go to Dollywood one day. You had an extra period. You've never been to Nashville. That's because you're not allowed to leave Ohio unless you're coming to Kentucky to pick me up. Anyway, so I had all those firsts, and for me, doing all of those firsts and doing them all within a week, I did a whole bunch of new stuff. I mean, I met Lori, I met Camille, we went on hikes, I ate at places I'd never even heard of before, I went to places I'd never heard of before, I traveled on my own, I had trouble with the travel that I was able to solve on my own, like the car rental, they sold the car that I was driving, like it was a bunch of stuff. And I kept pushing. Don't feel about it. Do it, get it done, do the thing, see how you feel. But I also knew at some point, like, what my line was, right? Like, I was doing the manicure and then they asked about pedicure, and I was just like, I cannot, not today. And that was fine. And no judgment, no harm, no foul. I couldn't do it. I just, nope. It still it makes my skin want to crawl thinking about someone else touching my feet. I can touch feet. I can look at feet. You can look at my feet. I like, I don't touch my toes. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. But like when I was doing the massage, I'm pretty sure she massaged my feet, but I didn't care because I was comfortable in that situation, in that environment, and it didn't bother me, right? But to just be focused on that one area, I just couldn't do it, and so I didn't. And that's okay too. And I don't feel bad that I skipped that because I did so many other things that I normally wouldn't have done. And even staying with the girls, we were together for basically 4 whole days. Like, we would sleep in different rooms, but we were together 24/7. And that's different for me. I don't live with people. I live with dogs who barely speak English, as we discussed before. So that, I mean, that was a big deal for me. My brain got tired from connecting with people that often. And that's why I said the first part of the trip was a little harder mentally. Enjoyable, absolutely, would do again. And the way you build your stamina is by increasing the amount of things that you do. And I feel like so far this year, I've been really good at that. I've gone to all of the doctors that I need to. I've looked into and discussed different, medicine options or healthy alternatives for me of ways that I can help myself feel better. I went on a trip and did all these things for the first time. And I was just really proud of myself, both mentally and physically, to be able to do all those things, to prepare for them, to do them, to recover from them, and to have such a good time. And at the end of the day, that's why I do all of the things that I do, is so that I can enjoy the life that I want to live. Life is for the living. And y'all know I was not living. I was just patiently waiting to die. And now I'm not patiently waiting to die. Now I'm actively trying to live. And it's just a happier life for me. So, whatever part of your journey you're on, I hope, whatever your reason you're doing it for, finding your why of why you're doing it is super important. And for me, it's all about living my life, right? I'm so excited to be living it. I'm so excited to see what else I can do, where else I can go. We had a Turkish get up challenge in April. I should technically add this to my non-scale victory, so I'm going to because I can. I finished that challenge. I didn't finish it where I wanted because I did have a small injury. I was doing them one day and my glute muscle just seized up. That was the worst. One good thing about having a stronger butt is you have a stronger butt. Bad part about it is when it cramps, it's a big cramp. Ooh, I have not had a big muscle cramp like that in age. It hurts so bad. But the thing with the Turkish get up is it is basically getting up off of the floor without using your hands. I only just started doing that a couple of months ago. I always had to balance, like, or either have my hand on my knee as I stood up or something. But this, you have your arm above your head with a weight and you stand up. And I was able to do 12 pounds on my right side. And then I was able to do 8 pounds. Well, I did some at 10, and then I had to drop down to 8 on my left, which was the side that was sort of, it wasn't injured. It just, I was taking it easy because I am trying to get stronger, and not just to be stronger, but just because I know it's better for my body to have more muscle versus more fat, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. Let's see. Gina says the cryo chamber sounds trippy. You would be all dramatic. I think a lot of people are dramatic. Oh, and then there is actually video of that. Last week I said that there was not video, but Kirsten was able to join the live stream there at the end. She's like, I do have a video of that. Did I not send it to you? We took so many pictures and videos. I guess she forgot. And I didn't realize that I knew she was taking pictures. I didn't realize part of it was filmed. So there is video of me singing, just like I said. Oh, yeah. Make sure to smash the like button if you haven't already. Gina says Dolly Parton has a line of box cakes and cornbreads. You have to snub you, Dolly. I don't know that I would eat that, but I still love Dolly Parton. Yeah, she is an amazing human. You met Lori Morgan? That's cool. Where were we talking about people we've met? How did we get to Lori Morgan? Anyway, that's fine. We're getting close to our end here. Gina says, your journey has you nursing an oven burn right now, trying to multitask. I hate that. Burning is my least favorite sensation. I think y'all know that. Yeah, I don't like to burn. It's bad. Anyway, hope it heals nicely. I can't even give you any tips because I feel like I do all the wrong things for burns. But thank you for being here on this Thursday evening. We are coming up on the hour, so we'll go ahead and shut it down. I know I ended up talking about a lot of different things, as I always do, because I didn't have any specific topic other than non-scale victories. But yeah, overall, I'm really proud of where I am. I think I'm to the point again, once I fully recover from this flare, that I might start to lose more weight. I am heavier than I like. I don't feel as well. At this 185, I felt better in like the high 160s, low 170s. And I'm going to work on getting back to there. And that's what I've been working on. I had gotten all the way up to 195 with all the steroids and things. I had dropped back down into the 170s. And then when the flare came back up, my body started, it thinks it's under attack because it is. It's attacking itself. Because again, it's real smart and real stupid, sort of like me some of the time. But I increased my stamina by doing new things and expanding my comfort zone, or just stepping straight outside of it and doing it anyway. And sometimes that's what it takes. For me, fear, excitement, same. It's just what I tell myself. And I think that's true a lot of the times. Positivity. When you look at almost any study when it's regarding health, one of the major things that they say for recovery is a positive mental outlook. We spend a lot of times talking bad about ourselves, or we even say that other people might think bad things about us. And that's just, like I said, just a tricky way for us to still talk bad about ourselves. So today's a good day. I'm going to keep saying it until it ends up being a good day. And every day is a new day to start again. So even if today didn't feel like one of your best days, try again tomorrow, because you're blessed to be able to do so. And I'm blessed to have y'all here. Thank you very much for joining me on my live stream this evening. I hope you all have a great weekend. If you are in the line of these storms that we grew here in Texas, we grew a big one to send out to the East Coast, I guess. But if you do have any storms, I know it's tornado and fix to be hurricane season and all that kind of stuff. So be safe out there with all this weather that we have going on as it gets warmer. But again, thank you for being here. Thank you for those of you who shared your non-scale victories with me. If you're here on the replay or did not get a chance to share your victory this evening, I'd love for you to come back and comment down below, because, again, I think people seeing what other people are doing is very beneficial. Plus, toot your own horn, man. You're doing a great job, and it is okay to be proud of yourself. It's not selfish to be proud of yourself. It is selfless to put yourself first, and that's the truth. And Cheryl and I have talked about this before, where I think a lot of us feel like we're being selfish because we were taught that by selfish people. And we don't need to believe that anymore. So do you, for you, and have a great weekend. So like this video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe if you know how, and comment down below. Did your city have a sister city? Because I still think that's a little bit funny, but Louisiana likes to do a lot of weird little things. And again, put your non-scale victories in the comments down below if you weren't able to join us or able to share this evening. And until next time, I'll see you real soon. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you next Thursday.